We are back, week 5 of Clan Wars, so it's been quite a few weeks so far. We've had a little bit of an upset. Sparta have taken the 3rd place. AMZ have jumped to 2nd place. And that's actually kicked Penetrate Institute down to 4th place right now. Of course, that is AMZ Lions, number 2. And you will see, when we're commentating, you will see Sparta with the AMZ tag, but for the rest of the season, as far as Clan Wars is concerned, they are an independent entity after leaving Gods of Greece. They have joined AMZ as a clan, but we're just going to refer to them as Sparta because as far as Clan Wars is concerned, they are not accruing points for AMZ themselves. They have gone rogue. Anyway, plane's about to take off. Highland Wolf will be with us. He's just had a bit of a problem with his Wi-Fi and hopefully joining us very soon. We can see this flight path going from the southwest up to the northeast. And it's a really good flight path for Miramar. You could even glide to Los Leones, so this is one of the best flight paths, the opposite best flight path being Los Leones to El Pozo. But this one does run through the middle of that, perpendicular to the other best flight path in Miramar. Straight up and down to the east or straight up and down to the west can leave out quite a bit, and straight left to right to the south or straight left to right to the north can leave out quite a lot too, so this is a reasonably good flight path for everyone right now. You can see people jumping down already. Swarm are back. I think they were saying, that they're returning in the chat the other day, so they will be back. Maybe they can swarm to the top of the leaderboards, but it's going to be pretty tricky to do so. There's some high points up there already, and just jumping over to the league standings. Yeah, it's Incognito 1st place, Lions AMZ at 2nd place, Sparta in 3rd, 4th place Institute. 5th, Grassroots the TARDIS, 6th SAS, 7th Invasion Esports, 8th place ZPX Maniacs, 9th place Pen Gunners, and 10th place Pen Game Over. So, for once, all the Pen teams are in the top 10. So after 2 seasons of hardcore Clan Wars and Penetrate getting pushed down and bullied by a few people, they are starting to stand up for themselves and dominate. Already, it looks like Incognito's starting to hit out members of RM. So, that's a bit of a nightmare for them. But maybe they can survive a little bit longer. Just checking out this flight, this drop path location. We will jump down to the Incognito RM fight as soon as possible. In fact, I can jump down and keep the map on. I don't have an iPad tonight. It's actually been left in my homeless hostel that I'm in. But I still have access to my studio, so that's good for now. Social housing's not very easy to get right now, and being on universal credit, I can't actually afford a deposit on private rent, and that zone pops down to the south, leaving 90% of the teams outside of the zone. 2 Pen teams dropped up in Cruz del Val, so that's going to be interesting. They normally do a good job of avoiding each other and not getting into early fights, but they're going to actually wipe each other out soon, maybe. An OTB clowning, so that will be only the best. Oh, there we have a knock from Vesuvius. Oh, sorry, that was Stormy nearly getting knocked, but yeah, Vesuvius does get a knock as well. And Stormy is going to have to try and, yeah, and Stormy goes out. Unfortunately, to a little bit of a glitch there, a little bit of a graphical glitch. And that's it, Incognito taking that drop zone to themselves. And they'll be pretty comfortable with that, pretty happy with themselves. Moving on forwards, very, very close to zone, really comfortable position for them. But we got to jump up to Cruz del Val now and see this triple drop. Only the best here with 2 Penetrate teams. And Menace, Vish, these nuts over there. There's only a 3-person squad for Penetrate Gunners. Penetrate Institute got the full squad out. Chris Zet will be a new player for us to watch tonight, so we'll keep an eye out on Chris Zet. Probably going to try and prove themselves, or hopefully going to prove themselves anyway, whether they try or not, because this is, as far as I'm aware, first night in FPP Clan Wars for Chris Zet. I don't remember seeing Chris Zet last week. I might be mistaken. My memory's a bit like a fish right now. Got a lot going on in normal life for me. A lot of crazy stuff. If you're watching this stream as well, just check out if it's started yet. No, it should start in a few minutes. I think it has started. Has it? No. Yep, it started. Good. I was just double checking it went out to YouTube because I had some problems. And we have, I think it's heaps of Croatian in the chat. I didn't even know, man. Godia katu. Nijeka streama ziru katu maze. Blau kukrizi zujeke. Yeah, I don't speak Croatian, I speak English and a tiny bit of Japanese. Nihongo. Anashimashou kana? Highland Wolf wa doko ni irumasu ka? Highland Wolf wa doko ni Highland Wolf? Doko ni? Highland Wolf wa mou sugu ni kite tao na. Yeah, so desu ne. Boku wa ichiban dekai Igiris jin da ne. I've actually been writing hip-hop in Japanese and English recently. I'll play that on the stream sometime soon for you when it's finished up. It's actually, I wrote a song about natto. It's a fermented soya bean in Japan, so I've got a whole song coming out soon about a fermented soya bean. Can't wait to drop that tune. It's probably going to get me famous like Skepta. Skepta's never even thought of writing a song about fermented soya beans, and he doesn't know what's going to hit him. I'm going to be storming that chart, 1 extra daily plays with my fermented soybean song in Japanese. Where's my second screen? Scott Sibley. I left it at my homeless hostel. Speaking of being homeless, and being on Universal Credit, I do have a Patreon. It's down there in the information if you can spare just £3 a month towards the running costs of this stream. It would be great. I did have some money invested in everything from Trovo when I was streaming with them, but I couldn't do that forever as their targets went skyrocketing as more and more people signed up to the site. Here you have Institute rotating around. They're looking to get aggressive now. I think they maybe got their loot, or maybe they're just rotating together for the safest method. Oh, we do have a shot on Omen there. That will be Menace, I think. Car 98ing Omen as Omen rotates. Getting a good shot in, but oh yeah, YouTube's looking good. And I'm multicasting now. You should be able to find me on, yeah, you should be able to find it on Facebook. You'll also be able to find me on Twitch. Plenty of multiple casts. It's interesting though, Menace running around. Maybe they're going to go towards only the best, but they are also leaving. Chaz D and Clowning look like they're leaving. And Penetrate Institute look like they might be avoiding this fight too. Everyone here needs to get to zone, and only the best look like they've taken the vehicles from the area already. How many vehicles did they grab? Oh no, Clowning running out in the open right now. Looks like only the best got one vehicle. Don't know if there's going to be too many other vehicles. Only the best Clowning could be hitting the backside here, but looks like they're going to get away with it. Looking good though. I think Highland Wolf has reversed the car closer to the router and should be able to jump in anytime soon. A little bit of a problem with the Wi-Fi. They did some, what's it called? Feng Shui?
Renovations to the living room. That's what we did.
Is it Feng Shui when you move the furniture around? Is that the Chinese?
Is that what it is? I don't know. It might be.
I think it's called Feng Shui.
What was it in Japanese, you know?
Oh, probably Feng Shui. Let me just.
Well, there you go.
You'll always catch me googling random things in this middle of the stream. But yeah, Feng Shui, also known as Chinese geomancy, is a pseudoscientific traditional practice originating from ancient China, which claims to use energy forces to harmonize individuals with their surrounding environment. It just means like moving your house around to embody certain energies. But I doubt that's what you were doing, being Scottish and not Chinese.
Yeah, I don't think I've got any special energies coming out, unfortunately, man. Maybe that's what I need. Maybe that's what I needed coming into this first
Maybe
game,
if you did do Feng Shui, you wouldn't have had any Wi-Fi problems, mate.
That's exactly it.
But we do jump down and catch a fight right now between OCB Slim, so that is a 420 posse right here. These guys are all 420 Blaze Hits, and they're up on the top of the hill. They are the highest out of them all, although Bodacious and Osmesgus are on the high ground, downwind from them in the west. They are trying to pin down Pro, which is Team Pro. GG is the leader, and but Incognito coming in from the other side. This could be pretty awkward for OCB. Grenades bouncing in, knocking the vehicle there just a few meters away from finishing off E-Town. E-Town will stand up and will start putting a medkit in, but being pushed from the rear side whilst trying to pressure another team. This could be an awkward spot for OCB.
Yeah, it certainly could. And I think, especially Team Incognito, they've got this 3-1 split moving into this fight beginning. And I think actually the side of OCB Slim, right, they are in a higher ground. They do have an angle potentially, and they can catch out as Mescus, which would then put them down to a 3-3 situation. If they can also revive Ethan, if they can also keep away, most importantly, Team Pro from engaging up this hill, that will land them in good stead to win this fight. But it is going to be tricky as we do see Ethan go down and unfortunately not there to revive him in time as Mesk is putting in the pain.
Yeah, and it looks like Bodacious is trying to come round on the bit of a out-of-sight flank on the right-hand side, maybe. Team Pro has started to make their retreat. They might change their mind when they start to watch this kill feed, though. They should maybe be aware of one of the team members going down if they're using that high IQ kill feed monitoring. I'm going to jump into Bodacious' point of view here just to make sure that he can't be seen. And it does look like they're making a good advance here on OCB, throwing some nades out before they get seen, and they're going to run in now with those noises distracting. The nades not really doing much damage, but they are pushing in together, and this could be an effective push, or it could backfire.
Certainly, as we see this engage start to come out, they find first knock. Can he find a second? Yes, they will. Now it will be Bodacious moving in for the final kill. Can he 3 versus 1? No, he can't. He has been knocked down. That will be a 2-for-1 situation, but here comes Resident Incognito. Keep in mind, we also got Team Pro moving in from the backside. They're now going to be engaging on the kill. Genius kill feed, but can he find it? Incognito have just got to find one more. Yes, they will. It will be 3 kills going over to Incognito, but they're not done yet. Keep in mind, Team Pro, if they have been keeping an eye on his kill feed, will use this time while they've been trying to revive. Actually, no, they won't. They will disengage here. So it will be Team Pro missing out potentially an opportunity for 3 kills.
Yeah, I would love to see more teams rushing in the middle or at the end of fights after watching the kill feed. It's definitely an OP tactic that is underused. I've seen the potential for it so many times, and I've most often than not seen that potential unfulfilled. And it's something that every team here could pay attention to when they're close to another fight, is just rushing in when the time is right. I've seen Zed Paradox do it most, actually. I think Ant-Man's team in three-party drops has made good use of that last season and the season before. It has happened. I'm not saying it's never happened. I'm just saying I've seen it, the potential for it unfulfilled many a time. And I moved over to AMZ Lions right now as they're taking out only the best, who did leave Cruz Del Val behind, leaving those 2 pen teams that are behind, denying both penetrate teams the chance to get these points, and now AMZ Lions are going to get these points themselves.
Yeah, and I definitely like this aggression coming out from AMZ. Keep in mind, they are inside the blue zone, so they want to end this fight very quickly. They want to get these kills on their leaderboard stats, and they want to make sure that they're getting back into the action of the game, not getting too far behind. Another grenade goes out from Rebel. Can he find a second kill? Yes, they will, and that will be the finish and the flush coming out in the smoke. So good job there from AMZ. Now they will quickly lose up. Now they will move away from the junkyard back into the game. And I think this could be good that, yes, they're getting the kills, but does it potentially put them behind now, right? You see the map here. We see many teams in front of them before we get to that zone. Look at the zone as well, Bigfoot. That is a nasty zone and a half for these teams.
Yeah, it's a really, really awkward zone, but that provides for great entertainment for the rest of us, of course. One of the worst zones we've seen on Miramar in the whole of Clan Wars, but only because it matched in relation to the flight path and the drop zones. Like, people could have gone more south. It could have been what happened, but being a zone that really the only important places it really included being Chumacera and Los Leones. I guess no matter what happened with the flight path, it would have been awkward for them. It just happened to be particularly difficult with that flight path being slightly west and very northern. We only had about 3 or 4 teams in the zone when it first popped, and again, when it popped for the second time. Only about 3 or 4 teams, but they're rushing in right now. Teams are rushing in.
I mean, definitely it will be all eyes, I think, on the side of Swarm Enemy, or the only team inside the side of that island, if it does continue to shift down there. But what I'm really concerned about right now is actually for the side of Team Gunner, as well as AMZ. These 2 top teams, they've got a long way to travel, Bigfoot, here going into this first game, and they certainly could get caught up by teams caught outside in the blue zone. That's going to cost them their medkits, which will deny them potential for healing in extended fights, especially if they're caught once again in the blue zone. They want to now make these kind of potentially hard flanks round to the edge of the coastline to get back into the game. Yes, it will take them longer, but it is only phase 2, and the zone won't do that much damage. They can potentially still pull that off.
Did man just pop a tire with his fists? Did he just punch out
his tire? That is some iron fist if I've ever seen one.
Mate, that is some kung fu. We've had feng shui, you doing feng shui last night. We've had kung fu. We may as well call this the we may as well do this cast in Cantonese, man. I was speaking Japanese before you came on.
I know, I heard. It was great. I love the Japanese car talk.
You can't leave me alone too long, mate. I'll end up going on a weird one.
You'll change languages in between. ZPX, they will get a kill on the kill feed there. So it does look like ZPX kind of returning to form. I actually was interested, and I want to talk back actually to the side of yesterday's third-party person scrims. And I think looking at ZPX's games there, they definitely showed a lot of potential. And moving back into first person, I do wonder how that's going to transfer over their luck that they had, or albeit skill potentially they had from last night's double games. But you know, they do pick up a kill there, they pick up a first, and they will try get a better position inside this zone. They have the potential to make it far, but it is a tricky zone, as we mentioned. There's a number of teams around them, and it could be that fourth party, should I say, they could take them out if they're not careful.
Yeah, the zone's starting to look pretty congested. We've got Menace trapped up outside next to Zed Paradox. As Zed Paradox take out Vish, and the zone gets these nuts. AMZ Lions heading down past 7 Atoms. Penetrate Institute, going to make it to zone just in time as well, but we're going to jump into zone right now because it's very busy down there, and we've seen a few of these fights outside, but there's got to be some pretty intense fights coming soon for inside because these teams are on top of each other. We got Incognito here right on top of Zen. Just double check which Zen, because I was told some of the Zen teams weren't turning up. This is ZPX Elites, team captain Subi, and Incognito here. Incognito with team captain Bozdejas. Very close to each other. Willow has just been sniped there by Osmezgus, I think it was. I missed the kill feed, but I think that's where the shot came from my right-hand side. So Willow has actually been out in America recently, playing an American team on a second account. Welcome back to the UK. Nice new Japanese mask there, buddy. I've got one of the Japanese masks. I want that one. Give me your account,
It looks pretty spicy. I'll tell you what, it's going to be the Japanese mask. Perhaps they need perhaps the devil themselves to take down Incognito here. It will be interesting to see how they fare, and I think importantly we have to know, right, from the previous fight for Incognito, they kept all 4 players alive, so they are able to pull off these flank plays like we saw as Meskis get a knock, albeit it wasn't transferred to a kill, but we do have Zed Paradox surrounded here. They do have him pinned down in a certain location that they can't escape from, which will allow them to make these flank plays if they're smart, Incognito, to then get around from multiple angles and take them out that way. But ZPX, they do have the advantage of cover here, and he could definitely pull off a couple nasty grenades to really hold and stop this push coming from Incognito.
Really interesting. We don't often see such a wide solo sniper flank, but Osmezgus is putting the work in. He's just shooting into the smoke, pressuring them right now, and it's not a bad place to be, especially considering Osmezgus has a vehicle to get out of here with. Oh no, it's a burning vehicle. That's only got a couple of shots left in it. But Dejas is actually
driving that.
Oh, you can if you want, but there goes Lobby Boy getting Vesuvius down, so there is a bit of a spray back from Zen already. Willow's fallen back and is still just medding up, putting in the work right now. Willow with all the meds. Wearing his red Hanya mask. This is a Hanya mask, in case you were wondering, from Japan. It's used in No, which is NOH. It's a form of Japanese theatre. A bit of a... What's the word? Anyway, foreign law, foreign culture for you there.
Japanese history. I feel like I'm having a class in Japanese history right now. I'm learning so much. I'm learning the language. I'm learning the culture. And I tell you what, I will want to see right now is also Zed Paradox try to pull off this one burst There's 4 versus 4 situations, so I should say. But we do see this split coming out from Incognito, and they are finding these knocks once again, and new angles to take against them. Subi has been knocked, and it will be dangerous to go in, but we do have the smoke to cover. They're going to put another smoke down to make sure they can get away from this, and potentially Incognito. No, they won't fire into the smoke. I thought they would try risk a second knock. That would definitely put them in an advantage in a position to go in at that point. But we see the cars coming out. We see potential retreats coming from Zed Paradox, understanding there's no way they can get onto Incognito in this compound, and it will be all disengaged for his team.
Yeah, Willow's been team hopping again as well. He left the UK for a bit, comes back in a different team. Oh, and here we have all sorts going on right now. Institute up there on the hill. This is crazy. Institute going to pull up maybe and try and get some kills. And it would be good to see Institute versus Incognito after the amount of work Incognito have been putting in. This is insane. Willow does go down to the unlucky kills Alexa. Willow has been bullied since he moved back to the UK right now. I'm going to have to turn the guns down, but I'm going to turn them down a little bit more. If anyone on the stream wants to give us feedback on the volume, we're just trying to work it out. I get the guns balanced with our voices. I'll turn them down another couple notches and we'll see what happens. Let me know if it was okay before I did that and what it's like after. That'd be much appreciated.
Yeah. I think it's a strange thing to see, right? Incognito. They're very... And so I was trying to say Incognito. Should I say the side of Institute? Because Institute here are actually a very controlled team. I like to think that they take their time in team fights. They don't immediately go in. They're not the most aggressive, but they do take the time to reposition here. But what it does look like, ZPX, they've repositioned into another fight, and it will be, unfortunately, Unlucky Girls feeling the wrath and completely eliminated and wiped as they pull in here. That is how you pull off an engage at the edge of the blue zone. That's how you find a new way into this game.
Yeah, and that's what you get with messing with my boy Willow. You just get slapped. Don't mess with Willow because the rest of ZPX has got his back. That was Unlucky Girls getting very unlucky, picking on the wrong person who had a lot of backup. Oh my days, I've just seen AMZ smashed off the map. Matas gets blown up. Vehicle explosions for AMZ. Rebel pulls up onto Unknown from 7 Atoms and just gets slapped down too, and that will be AMZ Lions wiped out. They are second place right now in the scores, and they've just came out in 13th place. That is not a good thing for them at all. We have Team Pro driving past 7 Atoms, hiding under this bridge like the trolls they are. Will they shoot down? Are they going to let Pro move on? I think they're just trying to take cover right now, but Owen is down. The blue zone's moving in. It is zone free. It's going to be tricky to get out of this alive. I think Team Pro are very keen on keeping them pinned, but they also want to make it back to the zone themselves. Just get out of this, avoid any chip damage, turn around, and keep pinning Team Pro. This could be an interesting pin. But we also have Pen Menace, the survivor from Penetrate Gunners, moving in. He's actually driving over the bridge right now and going to maybe make it to the South Island in time before getting knocked out. And if you look at the South Islands, there's no one there. Menace could be taking a really interesting survival rotation and getting very high in the score points.
It's definitely a good idea to take that rotation. Is unlikely, but yes, there will be no teams on that South Island. And I think actually it's very smart for the side of also keep in mind Team Pro to hold off, but it does look like it's not without a little bit of backfire from the side of 7 Atoms and not letting go down just after they have taken out last season victors of AMZ Lions and looking to try take their stamp on this first game, but it will be tricky nonetheless. You say it's now moving into phase 4, phase 3 blue zone ticking on top of them. And I think also what we see why we have 12 teams is because it is a zone that's super far away. Teams have had to make more time to rotate than they have been able to fight, and that's why we're going to now see the congestion at 23 minutes into the game of these. Now 8 teams as we drop it down another 4 as we do see those kill feeds popping down the map, and it will be Team Pro potentially looking away from this fight for a new position in the game.
Yeah, well, 7 Atoms did manage to take out Susie, but I don't think they're going to make it to zone. Kenzo might just bleed out as Owen runs in. Kenzo just going to do the meds. Owen going to try and make it in, but that was an excellent kill onto Susie there from 7 Atoms, and they really threw that back in Team Pro's face when they tried to pin them. Not only did they not manage to knock the team out, but they did lose a player themselves. Jump down at Menace quickly and see Menace chilling on the South Islands all by himself. Gonna maybe make it into the top 5 with this tactic. Entirely possible for Menace to get a very good finish, especially if Menace has the brains to come in from the west side when he swims across, and just keeping that south and west side, knowing that most people would have came in from the north and the east. And we've seen this, if we've said this many times, if a zone shifts southwest, people will be coming in from the northeast. This zone has been consistently shifting southwest, and you can see every single player is in the north and the east. It's a very simple equation to help you figure out your rotations.
Right.
And more people need to be making use of that, because there's a lot of space. The only buildings left in the east and the south are completely free and could be taken.
Yeah, the edge of these fights, you see Team Pro have been taken down completely by Invasion Esports from that kill feed. It looks like Incognito have also found potentially a little couple of kills, but we keep our eyes right now on the side of Institute as well as versus something like the side of Grassroots moving into this final zone. It's interesting, Grassroots have actually had a decent game right now, and they've got a strong position inside the edge of this zone. They certainly could pull this off against Institute, but as we mentioned before, Institute are his team. It will take their time, look for the best position, and then try and engage. But they do find that angle, they do find that perfect move, and flank from Ras and knocks down one. And that's going to now be potentially the engage moment with the smokes for the side of Institute. But never mind, it's Ras's return knock, and that will be buying the time that Grassroots need to revive their teammate.
Yeah, very interesting how teams help each other out in these freeway situations. Very, very, very good. And yeah, Ant-Man did actually get the 1v4 on Unlucky Girls. Didn't manage to catch every single moment of it, but I'm pretty sure Ant-Man got every single kill there. Willow's just jumped in the chat to big him up for that. So far, that is the mofo killer of the night. We don't often get a squad wipe by one person, and Ant-Man just picked off those girls one by one, and that's what you get for messing with Willow.
Well, it certainly is a team to be reckoned with. We've been hyping up Zed Paradox here, and Ant-Man's squad throughout the last season and into this season as well. They've improved week on week, and game by game they just look stronger and stronger as the synergy becomes stronger here. But it does look like the side of Swarm Enemy, they also wiped their own squad out moving into the zone, and that will be us down to just 6 teams as we see Institute making aggressive rotation into this final zone. Now phase almost 6 here, Bigfoot, and it's gonna be juicy.
Omen and Rasa were taken out by Grassroots Trippy there as they drove past. Very surprised to see the rotation on the east side from Institute, because this is the most busy side. There's Medusa here. We have Sparta, and that will be them. I think that's Institute finished. Yeah, that was a very unfortunate rotation. Very unfortunate rotation. Medusa was the only knock for Sparta there. Okay,
yeah,
so
I definitely think...
Go ahead.
Oh yeah, go ahead. Oh no, okay. Yeah,
I was going to say, I definitely
think.
No, you go ahead.
I definitely think that, you know, I think Institute, they were a little bit off the mark, right? They rotated late. They didn't then go for a slightly more passive rotation. They tried to find a position inside the zone, but albeit you've taken your time, you've got to understand that these teams are already here. And once again, we see, unfortunately, decided Triton for AMZ here, trying to move in, getting caught out, unfortunately, that will be both AMZ squads down, and it does look like, for me, the side of Sparta's squad here, they are looking super strong.
Oh, I could really push up the ranks right now. Doing really, really good. And the Win 94s came out from Triton. Let's see how... Oh, he's just switched over to the M4. We don't often see the Win 94 come out in scrims, but ever since it got that scope, it is definitely a worthwhile Miramar weapon. Because you've got that higher fire rate than the other bolt actions, you can put a bit more pressure on, and if you're hitting headshots, it doesn't do that much less damage than another bolt action. I think it's about 20 or 30 less damage than a Car 98. Grassroots Dragon hitting down Swarm as well. 4 teams remaining, and like we said, Menace with that southern rotation to the South Islands made it to the top 5. My prediction was correct, and the Gunners are going to be shooting up in the ranks tonight if they can keep this position up. Menace might even end up in the top 2. Who knows what's to come as Menace makes his way round to the west side of this zone. Going to actually have a lot of space, and if Swarm don't see him, it's actually likely that he's going to make it into the second spot.
Yeah, definitely good position right now, but it is tricky. It's going to be literally an uphill battle for Menace moving in here. And I think also potentially Grassroots might fall down if they're not too careful. Also, look at the rotation coming out from the side of Sparta moving in. Potentially they might spot the side of Menace here on the edge of this zone. But as I do mention, it will be potentially Grassroots getting flanked here by not only the side of the Swarm enemy, but also now Team Sparta.
This is a really interesting situation for Menace. He just plays his cool and lets Sparta make their move and just... But if they pin the edge of the zone, if Sparta sit right on the edge of the zone, it's going to be tricky for Menace to make his way in. Hopefully he can with the zone without being noticed. But the minute he shoots one down, the rest of the team will spin around on him. Hopefully Sparta are going to be distracted with Swarm as Menace moves in. This is perfect. Menace, please don't draw attention to yourself because you can make it to second space if you just stay calm and stay hidden. Running with that zone foot by foot, only taking not even taking any damage actually, and making it into zone without being noticed. Menace can keep pushing forward in these ranks.
And he could be that third party if decided Sparta to take an ugly fight here against the side of Swarm enemy, but Swarm enemy, they will not be taken down just yet, despite the fact we have lost two. Medusa almost goes down. That will be a vital part of this fight, keeping all four members alive. And it doesn't matter because there goes the flush, there goes two more. It will be Swarm enemy taken down completely in quick fashion. Sparta now might turn their head backwards and find Menace behind them. Menace will have to be as silent as a mouse here moving into these final zone. Three teams alive. Grassroots still somehow alive in between all these teams, but it will be tricky. Sparta here do control this compound.
Yeah, and Menace's grenades there were hidden by Grassroots, so it's still not giving himself away. Maybe able to wait till this second place at least now. This is insane for Gunners. Having that unfortunate fight in the start inside the zone, losing Vish and, let me just double check, D's Nuts. And Menace has managed to make it from a three-person squad all the way to third place and most likely second. This is insane PUBG luck and fate for Gunners right now. And but good rotation, amazing rotation too. Like it's not just luck. Yeah. Menace took the perfect rotation.
They had the furthest distance to travel out of every team, but it does look like in terms of distance, Grassroots in these final moments are closing in on the side of Sparta. They have found that knock. They have bought themselves some time to move forward, but it has been revived. Back to 4 members here, and it will be Sparta on all front here, trying to catch out the remaining 2 members of Grassroots. One will fall. Now just one left. Can Menace make it to second place? He does have to potentially be a third party, though. Now might just wait for the second member of Grassroots to fall down. But Grassroots here, they still have one up. The smokes there going to potentially be used by Menace to try find. He could even find both members of Grassroots here.
Yeah, Menace could finish them off. Menace could take those 2 kills if he just peeked up to the right there. They were almost taken out by the zone. If Menace was peeking at that point, it could have been straight double clap.
He could find Triton as well.
But he's just waiting. Like, there's actually, if he draws attention to himself, he might go out in third place, not second. Now he's got second, but there is no way he can take out all of Sparta by himself unless they
well, you never know.
Look at them. If they move by themselves,
they could come in with the pans. We saw it last week.
Yeah, they better. Actually, no, they better come in with the pans. Yo.
If they come in with the pans, here they come. Menace, can he fall off the 4 versus 1 situation? He just accepts his fate. He will fall down. And Sparta take the first game, the first chicken dinner with also 12 kills on board.
Wow. Really good stuff there from Sparta. They are shooting forward in the ranks, and they've jumped from about... I'm just going to skim back in this Discord results here and tell you where they were at the end of the first week, because I've been rooting for them since the first week. Since they returned to Clan Wars as Team Sparta, I've been gunning for them to make it to the top 3. They're in the top the third now, and I reckon they might just make it to first. But yeah, so first week they were 4th.
Right.
Second week, they were 4th. Third week, they dropped to 5th.
Mm-hmm.
4th week, last week, they jumped forward to 4th again. Sorry, they went 4th, and now they're 3rd. So they've been fourth and fifth the whole time basically, but they've jumped forward to third now, and they're going to jump forward to second tonight. I think we'll have to see.
But keep in mind also, this is the second week that this team has made it on top of the Miramar map leaderboard here. They have now gotten 2 chicken dinners on this map in a row. And I think this is something to note, right? This is a strong team, albeit, you know, it was a little bit of a hard throw, a hard tilt on last week's game on Miramar. But they do deserve it. They did pull off the 4 versus 1. And, you know, now they pull off this very, very strong win, commanding lead here in the first game with 12 kills. We do see on the second place, so we've got Pen Gunners in third place. We've got Grassroots Letales. Fourth place will be Swarm. Fifth place is going to be Invasion. Sixth place is going to be Institute. Seventh is going to be Dream Team. You're going to have to scroll down for me because I'm not in this game. Potentially list them all off here. We got 8th place in Incognito. 9th place is 7 Adams. 10th is going to be Team Pro, sorry, should I say. 11th place will be ZPX, the main ZPX Ant-Man squad here. 11th, we will have the side of the other ZPX squad here. 12th, sorry, should I say ZPX? We got PDX in 11th, Veni Vidi Vici in 13th place, AMZ, the main roster there in 14th position, Team Climb in 15th.
Can you screen grab from YouTube, or shall I ask the chat too?
Well, I'm sure you can just look back at the replay, surely.
Oh yeah, but the chat are a great resource.
Oh, they are. Trust me. 16 fair, unlucky girls. Yeah, sorry, 17. No, sorry. 17. We got a game with 18 will be the side. I don't know which name that is. OCB.
18th only the best, 19th OCB, 20th the 2-person grassroots squad with no kills, and 21st RM with no kills as well. I just want to apologize and set an intention to follow Dream Team a bit more, because they come out really good, and for whatever reason I keep on seeming to miss them in the stream. Maybe they have their fights while I'm in the middle of another engagement that I saw on the map. So yeah, apologies to Dream Team for not giving you the airtime you do deserve over the past few weeks, and I will try and make a point to stick with you a bit more, because you come out with consistent kills and consistent placements in these scrims, and definitely don't get the airtime that this squad deserves. So we'll try and keep an eye on that. But that is a total of 10 kills in 7th place for Dream Team. So even though they're not in that top set there, you know, they're actually not that far off some of the points of some of the higher teams which have less kills. Like 5th place, 2 kills. I'm pretty sure 7th with 10 is a lot more points than that. So they're doing really good for themselves. It's really good to see, and definitely deserve some more airtime. They're probably going to be shooting forward in the rankings as well, but they did join the season a little bit later than everyone else. I think they missed 2 or 3 weeks. I think they might have actually only had week 4 and 5 under their belt, but because of this consistency, they could even get top 10. Even though they joined the season late. Yeah,
they definitely could be an upset contender for this league, but I don't think, unless they have amazing performances throughout this next games and also the future weeks, they're going to challenge the top spot. But it's albeit going to be potentially a strong first season for them.
I'm going to get these replays on in just a second. Solved one of the problems I had with my transition by just going into Task Manager and giving the streaming software a heap more priority, and the transition never glitches out now. That's good. Very interesting. Just running that animated video I made for the transition shoots the CPU from 4% to like 40% for the streaming software. It's easy, man.
Sounds like it. Yeah, as we say, we will get the first replays up, and I'm definitely super excited, right, going into the next game in a wrangle. A bit more familiar terrain for these teams for sure, compared to the ups and down hills of Miramar. So it will be interesting to see how they perform, and also keep in mind, I think, how the side of Sparta perform.
You did a pun, mate. You did a pun.
I know. I did do a pun. You know, I'm glad you caught it. But, you know, the second game, it will be interesting to see once again how the side of Sparta keep that consistency going over these few games.
Yeah, and take this moment to shout out the contributors to the stream. We've got Tia, who I keep on asking to cancel because I can't actually stream for Sons of Odin at the minute because of all these things going on. However, he's stuck in there like a true champion. So that's good. And we have a new subscriber tonight, which is Sibs. So thank you very much, Sibs. And don't forget, Highland Wolf also has a Patreon, which the link is in the info there. You can go and chip in some dollars. You prefer to deal in American pounds, wolves, then go and give in some cash too. Got the music on. Can you see that? No, you can't. It's sharing the game, not the screen. Alright, give me a second. I'll get there. But you can take a break if you want.
Sounds like a good time.
Alright, cool. Yeah, go make a cup of tea or something. I'll put these replays on and try and sort your Wi-Fi out for getting into the game for the next one.
Yeah. And everyone else can make a cup of tea or coffee or hot chocolate. Depends what you like.
Yeah, and if you willow, go and have a word with yourself in the mirror and do better in the next game.
Guys, you guys. That's it.
check. I'm stalling before the plane flight loads. That is worrying. Come on, plane flight. Don't you do this.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
No, I think I'm in. I mean, the plane's moving, but I can't follow a player. Wait there, let me try. Might be right.
Try.
Yeah, we're good. No, we're good. We're good.
There you go.
Sweet. Okay.
Yeah, welcome guys.
Are you in on your own screen, or you want to keep my screen, or either way?
I am in my own screen. I'm Gucci now for game number 2. Welcome guys to the second game of the Penn Clan Wars. Now we'll be on the green pastures of Erangel, as Maxman would like to call it, and we will see these teams drop in from a medium plane path here in this map. I'm going to go straight through the middle. And I want to talk about something interesting, right? Apart from all these teams dropping in their locations, what we did notice in their drop locations in general for the side of Penn is that they all drop in the south end. And potentially they won't drop here, but all their main kind of drop locations that we tend to see from them is coming from the south end. Primorsk, Sofnovka, and Novo, right? And that could be a point, right? These teams from there they then try target these teams if they try to get up to the top of the league. And I think that's what we might have to see. Potentially a little bit of action around Georgia Pole with this play path. And I'm really interested to see how this all kind of changes each week. This time we've got 5 teams on Georgia Pole, Northern Georgia Pole, as well as it looks like a couple grouping of teams here on Milt down in the other end of Erangel here as well. So we could see some early fights compared to what we kind of saw, which was a more slow in stay first game.
5 teams North George with the entire of South George to penetrate game over is insane. This is going to be an interesting thing to see. If penetrate game over can get their scopes in and just pick people off while they're running around, these 2, 3, 4, 5 teams fighting in the north, man. One of them's going to retreat. They would have seen the sky dropping, and there will be a team. I think it might be a Team Pro thinking about retreating already. This is just not a good situation to be in for a clan. For any scrim where placement is important, any event where placement is important, you do not want to be in a 5 drop. There isn't even a word for 5. A quintuple drop. Yeah, that is it. Quintuple, quadruple, quintuple. Yeah, quintuple drop.
Quintuple.
It's insane. Insane. We're getting lessons in all sorts tonight, mate. Why don't we learn some French? We should learn some Croatian. I want to get the best Croatian award because we start a new category. I think I'm trying to start a new category, which is yeah, I want to start a new category, which is the Play of the Night as well as Mofo Killer of the Night. Because there's sometimes people do one thing, like one singular thing, like Aphrodite with the door. I think it was last week. It's just like an amazing singular play. It doesn't make them Mofo Killer. They didn't wipe a squad. They didn't do. But it's just like one play. And Menace's rotation was the Mofo play of the night for sure. But Ant-Man taking out a whole team 1v4, taking out the unlucky girls. Very unlucky for them. Was definitely the Mofo Killer of the night. So we're gunning for a 3rd category, and we might just go for a 4th category, best Croatian of the night. And it's probably going to go to Rasa for the first week or 2, but I'm going to try and get it later on.
I tell you what, that would be something. That would be certainly a unique reward. Unfortunately, it's also not going well in the second game for the side of RM girls. They got kind of pinned down by Team Clown, and they are eliminated already out of the game. There's 20 teams here. There's 20, but 20 full teams in Grassroots. Also did get an initial knock against him as well from the side of Sparta, looking strong, starting out in his second game from their first game chicken dinner. That will also keep in mind congest Grassroots into one small area. So potentially then more grenades, more shots could come out and be easier for the side of Sparta to pin down multiple members of Grassroots.
Yeah, and looking at the map, we can see the Team Pro have just sacked this in to go to zone. Really good choice by them. Sparta maybe going to be able to handle the last 3 squads themselves, but I wouldn't be surprised to see 7 Atoms rotate around to the north. Oh, wow. Thank you. Just got some fish and chips delivered there. So you might have to be doing most of the talking for the next 5 minutes, pal.
Fish and chips. Ooh, fish and chips sounds delicious, man. But I tell you what is also on the cards is an ocean zone once again here at Bigfoot. We do have a pretty nasty zone for game 2 hitting at us. But it will be, I think, these rotations coming out, more walking for these teams rather than fighting. But that won't be the case initially. So you do say there is 5 teams here in North Georgia, Poland. It will just be the nice edge. Which team begins that fight? Potentially also the side of OTB moving in to try to get a third party against Grassroots. But on the other side, it will be the side of Invasion Esports struggling a little versus also the side of Institute. It will look like they have found that first knock. Unfortunately, they have been knocked. Tron is knocked, so it will be a case for trying to recuperate themselves here. But a little bit of BM here as Invasion Esports finish off their second kill of the game. And it will be Institute losing a second member. Still 20 teams, though, in the game. Nevertheless, and still these members of Penn Institute alive, albeit only one member, should I say. Chris Sett, he's got a solo carry now, but he's in the position to do so. He does have himself inside the zone, and he could potentially pull off, just like we saw Gunners do in game number 1, a pretty sexy rotation to get himself into second place.
This is what happens when Tarzan's not involved. Well, no, maybe I'm wrong, but unfortunately it did actually coincide with Tarzan not being in the team and just leaving it to the rest of them. Tarzan's an excellent tactician. Maybe he was watching one of the screens, I don't know. I doubt it. But we're just moving back to Georgia here to see Sparta rotate around Grassroots. And they're in a pretty awkward situation, but Grassroots are spread out too, and it looks like they're going to manage to handle this by sheer luck of the way Grassroots position. The Grassroots, had they been holding certain angles, could have wiped Sparta then. But just having moved on from that point, missing a lot of angles. Oh! And no, nearly caught. That is the first knock for Sparta, but Orbitix goes down as well. Oh my days, this is knock for knock.
Keep in mind, it's 2 versus 3 situation.
Yeah, they're going to get the rev zone.
Yeah, I'm going to revive it.
People standing, it's going to be 2v2. Medusa's down. Oh my days, this changes everything. But Trippy is so low. Dragon is so low. If they get cocky and they jump over this wall trying to finish stuff off. Trippy running around on such little health. Does actually get the finish on Medusa before getting knocked. Medusa is down, but Trippy gets vengeful killed as well.
Look at the health on Dragon. It's not going to happen. Grassroots will be eliminated in 20th position. They just got separated and played like a fiddle here by Sparta in this second game here, the first fight for them. It will be a nice 4 kills going their way. Grassroots did find one, albeit a little bit of pity point for them before getting knocked out. And I think looking over the rest of this map right now, it has kind of centered away from Georgia Pole. We have seen the side of OTB move up and away from the Georgia Pole skirmish. We do see now the advantage in favor of Lipovka and the power areas for both Gunners and also the side of the main ZPX squad here, ZPX Elites. In for this second game, they have really strong positions on this coastline, especially if the zone continues to move towards the eastern side, and they can easily catch out teams using the advantage of the compound. Yeah, but also in managing, keep in mind it could be an interesting spot for the side of will be the other Grassroots squad. I don't have a name here, unfortunately, in my list, but other Grassroots squad, we'll call them. Albeit inside a mansion here, potentially against Team Pro to begin with. They also hold a strong position here and also potentially also hold the hills around it. They could as well to catch vision on the rest of these teams moving in. Just keeping an eye out on the rest of these teams making their rotations in. As we mentioned, it's kind of hard eastern zone. We see now the side of 7 Atoms making their rotation into the hands, the loving hands and arms of Penn Game Over. Might be loving with their guns, no less. Here, Bigfoot is this 2-2 split, looking potentially they could now pinch it onto 7 Atoms. Keep in mind also Snipes is making out rotation across the bridge on foot as well, so that will be buying time for the side of Penn Game Over to take advantage of this and try take down 7 Atoms, but instead they will regroup. They will try reposition here. Interestingly, albeit inside a red zone, could be pretty dangerous, and also the blue zone, double zone action here over on the right-hand side of the map, and it will be teams just making rotations into the play area. Looking around the rest of the map on the eastern side here, Bigfoot, we do look like it could be Team Pro, an interesting rotation on the other side. Tribute has made their way into the hands of another pen team here, as they have made their way over to Pen Gunners. Tribute will potentially be knocked down here on his own. Very aggressive. Also keep in mind the other grassroots trio here will be in play for this fight around the mansion side. Will be interesting to see how this plays out. Tribute, Susie, and Doctor on the eastern side, making their rotations in. Could be knocked, but we will keep an eye, will be on the rest of these teams moving in. Do see Game Over making a dangerous rotation themselves away from the side of Spotter, but they will edge their way into zone. They do keep all their players alive, most importantly, as well, and now can gatekeep the side of Spotter as well. It is a little bit risky to gatekeep the chicken dinner winner of game number 1, to gatekeep the team that just knocked down an entire squad, but they're gonna try to do it nevertheless. It does look like more kill feed, more kills on the kill feed gonna go over. Willow making quick work at the side of the OTB and also invasion squads here. Willow doing excellent job to try fend off these 4-man teams on the eastern side.
He was, of course, knocked at the end of all that, but with a slight outfit change up in the Kill Bill plus yellow skull and yellow helmet outfit, Willow will be surviving a little bit longer this game after getting those 2 knocks. Does get knocked himself, but Ant-Man did manage to finish it off, I think, and did pass those kills on to Willow. So Willow's doing better this game than last game. Just speaking in the chat there in the half-time, he's actually been playing 120 milliseconds in America for a lot of the time recently, and also been playing a lot of TPP. So jumping into FPP with 20 millisecond pings, a bit of a difference. But he seems to be doing good tonight, and big respect to Willow surviving that clash. And we move over to penetrate Gunners right now, and they're in a bit of a clash with Team Pro and also Only the Best, and they're spread out massively. Maybe their early spread lasted a little bit too long as other teams moved to Sentinel compounds, and they've been picked apart in awkward situations. D's Nuts and Vish are going to be the only ones surviving, I think, for now.
I definitely think this could be potential for Only the Best if they play their cards right, to take down Wolfie, to take down the rest of it. Will do so, Wolfie will die, and then these nuts to follow. It will be a spicy game for the side of Only the Best to try and make it up the hill, though, with these nuts. With the control behind the tree and the top of the hill, could easily wipe them out from afar. Keep in mind also in the backside, though, we do have to keep an eye on these 3 members of Team Pro. Vish and these nuts are split. They will be regrouping because this is a 3 versus 1. Now needs to make it a 3 versus 2 situation, with, of course, Wolfie being eliminated from the game.
Uzi going around the flank there. Vish in the building. These nuts could maybe do it getting a bit close to Vish right now. When the numbers are against you, you need to have that rev or defense tactic to be able to finish off a spray someone else started. And it's pretty tricky when you're apart like this if they make a rush. We'll have to see how this turns out, because D's Nuts is actually throwing a molly in. Maybe going to get some other... Oh, and Susie nades Vish. Grenade. Yeah, that will be a knock for Susie. Going to even try and finish it off through that tiny window, I think it was as well. And Vish has managed to escape from the second one. Always a good idea if you get naded once to move. Especially if it's a surprise nade. You don't know where they are. You don't think they're going to be throwing another one. It's good just to get out of it. Doctor's now running upstairs trying to finish them off. But Vish has already relocated. Very, very interesting maneuvers. But now it is all on D's Nuts to finish off the entire squad. Doctor goes down to D's Nuts. Can he keep this up and knock the rest of them?
It will be Susie potentially to follow, but trying to find the angle through the window, but it's not going to be enough. We're on the other side of the building. Susie trying to find an angle now onto Vish. You say Vish is repositioned. He's hanging out about in the edge of the room here on the ground floor. right below the enemy here. Susie and Doctor ahead. Doctor will be revived, and that will potentially have actually buyed these nuts time to make a little bit more aggressive rotation. I'm surprised they didn't move into the building, considering that they did notice through the window. Susie perhaps did run back to the other side of the room. They had to revive Doctor, and that would have provided the time that they needed. But look at more teams move in and move past this area. You see now ZPX making their way up to the north side. ZPX Maniacs just not opting to be a part of this fight. So many teams around this mansion area and the coastline. But these nuts, the only player for Gunners, as they do lose their second player.
Yeah, and if you have a look at the map here, you can see like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. In this little small area, it's about a kilometer long and about 20 meters wide. There's 7 teams. So it is no wonder that Gunners, with their early loot split, got messed up so hard when this many teams ran into such a small area and they were in a split and in the open. Very unfortunate timing for them because, you know, this isn't exactly a popular area. It just happened to go that way with everyone's rotations, and they got caught out. But maybe these nuts can pull off a menace in this game too.
It could be so, but yes, my Pollyanna, we do see the AMZ lines and game over, potentially around the north side, and also these rotations we do have to keep in mind, as we just saw in the zone. Unlucky Girls, Spotter, and Dream Team coming down from the north. They might make their way round to the coastline, but could make their way down to the S9 and potentially be that third party upset. But we do have to keep in mind, unfortunately, these nuts does fall down, albeit was in between several teams. It would have been a hard flank to try retreat away, and its Gunners will not be able to pull off a second place. It will fall down instead in 18th position. And we've mentioned 17 teams now with the 17-minute mark in the game. This zone continuing to try make a nightmare of time for these teams. Is also we see 50 lose 1, just Goku alive for them in the middle of this squadron of players.
AMZ right up close to penetrate right now. Nyaznaya, this is a penetrate game over team. And penetrate have the bigger buildings, rebels running around, maybe not even noticed them yet. They've taken, oh, and maybe he has, he's looking to the left there, maybe he's seen something. Maybe someone's, yeah, they've been marked, or they've been scouted. Rebel now taking a different angle. Rebel is not going to run up to be close to the rest of the squad. He's going to stay out here on the front line, trying to get flanks and kills, whether it means losing his life or not. Very aggressive player, was the first 2 seasons top fragger, one of the best players in the entire scrim because of that, obviously. And unfortunately overtaken this season by Rasa in the frags. And I'm just going to, while we have a little look at what Rebel's up to, I'm going to dig out the frag standings this time around. If just these graphical glitches would leave me alone and let me actually see that. And jump over to the results and double check top killers.
Albeit while we're checking on the north side, we do have an interesting rotation coming out from the side of ZPX Elites. They make their way over across the ocean into Lipovka and into this fight between all of these teams around the mansion side. So they want to jump back away from AMZ as pen as they suss each other out. Lobby Boy is moving their way through all the teams. I'm surprised that none of these teams have knocked him down yet, continuing to drive round, and also the side of only the best moving straight on top of the side of Team Pro. Susie was knocked earlier by the remaining member of 50's Goku.
Pro starting to lose players to only the best there. That will be only the best actually wiping Pro. They've had a knock by Chaz D. The Chaz or Chaz D? Let me just
look at the zone. Look at Ant-Man and Willow's rotation. Everything all the way through his teams.
Oh my god. There's a lot of congestion right now.
I'll die.
Just drove through the middle of that. They might even get that compound if they keep. Oh no, they're not going to take a compound. They're actually just going to take an excellent little bowl. Bowls are really good. A lot
especially
better.
in this situation.
Yeah, when a lot of teams are already taking the compounds, the bowls are great. There's a lot of new bowls on Erangel too. There's some amazing bowls down on the beach next to Ferry Pier in Primoshk. And then north of the Ferry Pier Road, there's another spot with loads of great bowls and tanks and stuff just above Ferry Pier. So some really good new areas on the map that we haven't really had a chance to see utilized. I would love to see the zone gravitate towards the new areas for the end a little bit more, because a lot of potential for meta we haven't really seen yet in the game. But we will get there with the amount of games we stream once a week. We will one day see us an end in one of the new areas. Help has been taken down a lot of health. Matas goes down by Devious with the DP though. Help is healed up. Rebel is down as well. This is actually game over, dominating AMZ. This is not AMZ's season. Possibly going to get pushed down in the rankings from tonight. That nade looked like it glitched out and did something weird. Maybe cost a knock there, I don't know. Con's very close to War Machine right now. Going to try and throw a nade in as well.
Oh,
War Machine jumps out the window on extremely low health there. Doesn't quite jump out, but Cons is going in for the push. Nades are coming in. War Machine gets finished off by Cons again. This is really, really good stuff for game over. Help has ran in, but War Machine's down with no one to save them. Matas and Q, the last one standing. And Devious is going to keep the pressure on them. There we have it. Penetrate, game over. Coming out on top of AMZ lines here. With an amazing nade from Q, though. Absolutely perfect. Wow. It doesn't get much better than that. That was... I don't know how Q knew Devious was right there, but maybe missed a little bit of a peek where he saw the information. But either way, amazing knock. And just take a quick second to just run through those standings I was talking about. Rasa on the top with 26 kills. Tren from Unlucky Girls, 23 kills second. Osmesgus from Incognito for third place with 21 kills. War Machine from AMZ Lions with 20 kills. Devious does get finished off by a nade there. And then we have Sauron, then Rebel. So Rebel actually in 6th place for the killings this season. Matas in 7th. Bordejas Incognito 8th. Medusa from Sparta in 9th. And Eros from Gods of Greece with 15.
Look at these grenades raining down and almost taking the side of Help and Fate here. The pull on the trigger there almost takes down Help, but will survive with a sliver of health. Unfortunately, as you mentioned, they did lose Devious to 2 excellent grenades there. Fate could potentially go down to that grenade, but does not land over the wall, will dodge away. That other grenade in return will fall short, and it does look like a little bit of a standoff so many times we see in these two buildings. But look at the rest of the zone here. Look at how crowded this still is. 15 to now 14 teams as Team Pro do fall down GG to the blue zone. But it will be still these 14 remaining teams in 23 minutes, and we do see that kill feed finally pop off with the zone. ZPX Dream Team on the northeastern side, losing members on each way. ZPX down to 1 member make that as Confesh will fall down. That could be an excellent grenade onto the side of all of them here, but Confesh won't be able to quite find it. Smoke will come up instead, and it will be Dream Team on slivers of health.
I wondered what was happening there. I didn't know the terrain hadn't loaded in, so I knew Kavesh was protected by something, but I didn't know what until the tree loaded in. It was like, that's why the nades aren't hitting. Anyway, one of those graphical glitches affects my understanding of the situation until everything loads in. Finkali now making that push, trying to finish off ZPX here. Oh, there's a player to shoot them. But what about Kavesh just shooting through the smoke now, spraying into the smoke? Finkale probably going to get the best finish player of the night award. Spraying down on players through the smoke, but Kavesh will make it away as Lazy and Kata have been taken out. However, Zone 4, so if Kavesh doesn't keep moving and maybe even get a vehicle, they might just die to Zone. Dream Team back in the car. Everyone necking the meds right now. Zone 4 going to deal some damage. There's the Unlucky Girls Tokyo. And does look like Tokyo might actually make it away there, as Dream Team focus on making it to a decent spot on the map. All of them in one car. This could be absolutely fatal for them. Only the best shooting them down. Finkale gets knocked out. Looks like the best Finnish player of the night award is going to go to one of the other Finnish players.
Yeah, and Kavesh also fell down there to Chazo on the backside. I think Carly did get knocked and will be finished off so far away from his team. And it will be now still 13 teams in phase 5 here. And all of the teams on the north side, it's like a rainbow of players on the Yasnaya front here on the north. All of them outside the zone. And it does look like potentially any of them could fall. We see Devious, I should say game over. Devious' squad here struggling on the back foot. They do have to still make their way through potentially 3, 4, 5 different squads here just to get into the zone. On the flank side, it does look like AMZ did find a beautiful knock onto Lobby Boy. Ant-Man, the only one alive is their PX, at least.
AMZ hitting back. Sorry, they're not AMZ. Sparta hitting back. Onto ZPX there. Willow does get taken out. War Machine and Q. Q is down too. This is really tricky stuff for everyone. Game Over did manage to take off the last player of Unlucky Girls as she drove into zone there. Getting themselves an extra kill, putting them on 3 kills. Dream Team have made that rotation all the way into the middle, and check it out. Finkale has been arisen from the dead. I don't know how or when that happened. I would probably just call hacking because they're all back up here. Finkale hacked himself back to life.
They are all back up, and it does look like an interesting rotation for Benny Vici versus Swarm Team on the other end of the zone. Still, another falls on only the best as well from ZPX. At least they find one member moving into the zone. Devious also firing down on the other front onto Unlucky Girls as Alexa and Devia, the only 2 remaining girls in this team here. It will be still this fight continuing is upfront aggression from Swarm versus Benny Vici on the other side. Still playing out his 2 members, now just one. Jade does get knocked. Loki will be knocked, but not before Buddha finishes off Storm, and that will be the knock and the first down, finishing off Swarm Team. Benny Vici now in control of this side of the zone. Keep in mind, Dream Team around the center is also Sparta move their way in into only the best. All of these teams making a rotations now.
Dream Team with that completely ballsy rotation straight to the middle though is going to really pay off for them. They nearly finished off and stole a Veni Vidi Vici knock from Swarm there. Incognito smashing out Penetrate Help as they try and make their way into zone. We just dropped down to 7 teams so fast. Triton taken out by OTB, Chaz D, Vidma hitting out Unlucky Girls. Diva actually thought Unlucky Girls were already out, but that will be Diva the last one taken out. Triton is down. Only the best has finished off Sparta now, and the AMZ Lions coming in not too far away from only the best, but looking at the 5 teams remaining, and Dream Team taking that central position from a couple zones ago, well, from one zone ago in zone 4, and it's paid off so much for them. If they can hold down this cover as the rest of the teams come in, they're going to be lapping it up.
Yeah, Mattis has found one on to decide only the best. Down just to Chazo. There's Mattis and Q, the only remaining duo here. But Mattis has been knocked. A beautiful shot from the enemy side here from Dream Team on the flank. Makes him down just to Q. And it will be Chazo escaping with his life. Thank goodness for his third party. He says to himself on the edge of the blue zone, on the edge of life here. Keep in mind though, Dream Team, they could potentially have a third party himself, as this full side of AMZ Lions will be knocked down in 5th position. Incognito behind Dream Team will have to be a little bit more aggressive than they have been so far to get the way back into the play zone.
Yeah, Guard's even gone out into the blue zone to get a working vehicle. Chaz D actually confirmed Dream Team's kill there, so putting another point on the board for Dream Team.
Look at Chazo.
As Vidma, but Dejas, look at that. This is what I want to see from more teams, valuing vehicles this much. Incognito ran back into the blue zone just to get another vehicle. It didn't massively pay off there as they get knocked sprayed down straight away, but this is the economy of late game PUBG. Smokes and vehicles, extremely expensive. Early game, maybe not so important, but the value with time in the economy goes up and up. Ammo, explosives, smoke. The value all goes up as it gets further into the game, but vehicles and smoke accrue the most value into this late game. Portable cover is what they both equal in the last zones.
But Dream Team, they do find one as you mentioned, Badeja's down to slivers of health, and Vidma will be the only full health remaining player alive. We did see only the best fall down, inevitably to the 3 versus 1 situation. On the other side, Venevidi Vici now outside the zone, and also keep in mind, Dream Team are out of the zone as well as Incognito. None of these teams going to be safe from Phase 7's Wrath here as they do heal back up. Ollie almost being knocked down behind a rock bear. Grenade going to fall short from Incognito, meaning the Dream Team still keep 4 alive. But when will Venevidi Vici come in and try upset these 2 squads?
Vincale was just so lucky there, just running away just as that grenade came into exactly where they were standing. Could have been so damaging. But look at this, like you said, Zone 7, unforgiving and unrelenting. Hopefully Dream Team can make this move early on. And we said last game we want to watch them some more and give them some more screen time. Well, they've had plenty in this late game. When we first clicked on them, they had no kills. And now they're up to 5 kills in at least 3rd place. Doing really great. What did you just see there, mate? What are you about to say?
Dream Team here comes to one to Venevidi Vici, Cesar, and now a second as we do see a student first going down. Both Cesar and Metal will be knocked out of the game, and it will just be 2 remaining. That Smokero did not pay off for the side of Venevidi Vici. And Incognito here, Vidma Badejas equalize it to 2-2, but Badejas has been knocked down into the blue zone here, just trying to survive. Both Vidma in the blue zone. Dream Team has been knocked by Venevidi Vici, wandering down to 3. Can it be down to 2? Mechanic also falls down. Vincale and Wanderi, the only ones alive, but a Phase 7 zones eating them alive, and it will look like Dream Team do barely pull it off in the zone. As Venevidi Vici also felt the wrath of that Phase 7, keeping themselves just alive just enough. It will be 6 kills on top.
Really good stuff there. So it's Dream Team, the game when we decide to watch them some more, we'll go over to their point of view at 0 kills and they finish in 1st place at 6. Really good stuff there, and definitely, like we said last game, deserving this extra screen time. Venevidi Vici there in 2nd place though with a total of 11 kills. Incognito 3rd place with a total of 6. 4th we got Only the Best with 11. Really good amount of kills there for a 4th place as well. Going to add up quite a lot. AMZ Lions 4 kills in 5th place. Sparta in 6th place with a total of 7 kills. Unlucky Gills 7th place and unluckily no kills. Penetrate game over 8th place 3 kills. Swarm 9th place 2 kills. ZPX Ant-Man's team with 5 kills in 10th place. Team Clown with 4 kills in 11th. OCB Slims 0 kills 12th place. Grassroots 2 kills 13th. The other ZPX team in 14th place with 1 kill. Team Pro 2 kills 15th place. 7 Atoms no kills 16th. Penetrate Institute 0 kills 17th, which is, they were in 4th or 5th place in the scoreboard leaderboard completely, and they're gonna get knocked down because of that. Gunners 18th place 1 kill. That says a lot, actually. We saw them get wiped, and that was what seemed like in like a middle game, but it was still 18th place, so that says a lot for how many teams made it to the last circles. Invasion Esports 4 kills 19th place. The Grassroots team 1 kill 20, and RM last place 0 kills. I'm gonna try and work out how to get screenshots. Wait there, because there's a way in doing it on Windows. I forget.
Okay, you figure out the screenshot, but albeit, I think that this second game, once again, was one of these zones, right? It was super far away from a number of these teams. Note, obviously, that 5-team drop over in the North Georgia poll. Surprising we didn't see more teams drop early on out of that. But, you know, there are enough compounds in Georgia poll. There is enough space between these teams to barely host those members if they play passive enough. Unfortunately, you know, it is without saying the side of Grassroots, and also RM Girls did fall down early on, and then as you mentioned as well, down in 18th position, the side of Gunners, they weren't able to survive that kind of cluster of teams moving into where that final zone actually did end up. And I'm surprised actually that the side of Gunners didn't live for longer. They could have played it much more aggressive. They could have held off on Lipovka, then potentially sniped out ZPX Elites as they made the rotation into the zone out of the water. It could have been a much easier game for them. I think because they were aggressive, it didn't pay off for them. So potentially want to be a bit more passive moving into Sandhawk.
Yeah, Dream Team are a good team for Sandhawk too. So with that second win under their belt and Sandhawk abilities, we could see some interesting stuff from them. Makes no sense. My clips are meant to be all 30 seconds, but some of them are 21, 17, 22. I didn't make... Anyway, jumping into angle clips in just 1 second. Hold on, everybody. Here we go. So we'll be back in about 5-10 minutes with the next episode, next game, which will be the last game of the night in Sandhawk. Thanks for sticking with us. Don't forget to check out the links in the description, and we'll see you soon. Oh, just special shout out to this profile picture I just found. AMZ Chaxes. Check. Hello. Loading back in now. Welcome back. Last game of the night here. And Wolf might be with us. How's it going, bud?
Yep. I'm doing good. As we say, welcome back, guys, to the final game on San Hock here. I'm still loading in, which is a bit weird. So I'll just have a temporary look at your screen while we have a beautiful look at the final 10 seconds of people jumping over the scaffolding into the game. But it definitely will be an interesting one. We just come off of a chicken dinner for the side of Dream Team in game 2, a chicken dinner for the side of Sparta in game number 1. These are going to be the two teams we're going to be wanting to keep our eyes on for the final game here, as it will be a central playing path going from the south to the north side. And it will be a beautiful one for the side of Game Over, who just love to drop over on that dock side. So we'll be wondering if I think we will wonder though, right, if we see that 5-team drop over on boot camp this week.
Cons and Fate dropped a little bit late, maybe just to double check anyone was in the area, which is actually a good tactic. That might be what they're doing.
Right, they got gate kept last week, so
yeah, but that late drop can get the scout on the other drops, and they can see that everything's clear right now. As Swarm take Bantan, Camp Charlie is Veni Vidi Vici, Sami is getting Z Paradox and OCB Slims. Only 2 teams in boot camp. The other Z Paradox team going to Camp Alpha alongside Incognito. And pretty even spread. Of course, AMZ going to Paradise. Institute back at Bravo. Oh, crazy. The first player of the entire... You automatically follow the top of the roster. So player number 1 has already gone down. That was 7 Atoms Unknown. Yeah,
they will fall down.
That would be Grassroots getting a knock straight away, and it's a funny little chance there. Oh, and OCB picking up the ooh god, I've been playing too much Warzone. DBS and getting a knock straight away.
Got it.
Wow, that's
better than I could
definitely been playing too much Warzone.
I think it's not too much to worry about though early on, right? It's just going to be a split drop. It has been answered back by Grassroots. Unfortunately, they weren't fully aware the rest of the team was dropping. They were punished for it. We also keep in mind ourselves on the other side down to the south end. We see a couple of teams round. So I should say in boot camp down over in here. And we do see 2 remaining members. Only going to be 3 members for the side of Az and Chazo there. Chazo will be knocked down, just make it 1 now. Is Claren and Chazo need to be revived. Only the best could fall down pretty early here in boot camp, and it could be super important now for the side of Team Claren also to control this central compound depending on this zone, which has shifted down towards the south end of this final game, so we could see a little bit of a hard rotation for some of these teams who drop down to the north, but it will be continuing to be only the best camped out here by both sides of Team Clown. But you have the vital 3 members. Clown will pull down. Clown's not going to be quite found just yet, but Shadow and Az both go in together as a team, a duo to try and find the rest of Klaus as Elfbar, but it won't fall down just yet.
This is extremely intense. This is a main building standoff of Brother Sim 1 and Goku could really be pushing this, sending nades out, anything, but actually giving them the chance to get the rev in is going to change this a lot. Goku's now pushing back in again, but 1 rev down. Has jumps out a window. Goku's coming in. By the way, if you're ever being chased out a window, don't keep running. Turn around and look at it, because they won't be able to shoot. This is another tiny bit of really important PUBG meta. When you're climbing, you can't shoot. If you get chased out a window, do not keep... I know it takes a bit of guts, takes quite a lot of confidence, but don't keep running. Turn around and get an angle on the window, because they're not going to be able to shoot on their way out of it, and you will almost definitely get a knock. It's a really OP tactic that could easily be overlooked and takes a lot of confidence, but if you do get chased out a window, turn around and you'll get a knock.
And especially in that situation, if Goku goes down, Klaus, Goku not there to support, it would be a bit of repositioning 1 versus 2 situation, but it would be better than eliminated out in last position there. 19th will go to place for only the best. There will be a couple more potential early game skirmishes down on the south end with Camp Charlie, Veni Vidi Vici versus on the side of Swarm Enemy, and also in Sami, we could potentially see ZPX Maniacs have a little bit of a fight, a little bit of a contention versus OCB Slim and Unlucky Girls. But don't expect too much to go the way of many kills early on in this game. It's going to be an interesting rotation, I think, as well, from the side of 7 Atoms in the zone on the north side. They have actually went from the south end of Grassroots to the north side, so potentially could be looking to try finish off the 3 members with only 2 remaining. A little bit ballsy, in your words there, if you like, sir.
Why not? I'm trying to say gutsy and confident, because, you know, there's issues with using testicles to describe confidence, because women have confidence too. So it's one of these things where I'm trying to change my language, but there's like a lifelong lessons learned of
that is a fair point. That is true.
So I'm trying to say confident and gutsy. You might have noticed I corrected myself from ballsy a couple of times. It's just like we craft reality with our language, and it's important to change certain things as we start to be made more aware of the injustices in the world. More explicitly aware, should I say, because they've always been there. They're just a lot of recent protests, etc., letting us know more aware of what's going on and having a bit more respect for less fortunate or more oppressed people.
That is very true. That is very true. It will be Benny Vici striking first in the south end for Camp Charlie onto the side of the Swarm Enemy, and it will be them down back up though. Just 2-3 members here.
They did get a knock with the AWM.
Now his Storm has been revived.
This flare that they picked up did really good for them. There's an M249 that has been left untouched, but the AWM was taken and got them a knock instantly, so good shout on the flare there. Mick, Stolm, Bibard and Jay trying to get their push into Camp Charlie, but there might not be much of a push to be had here if Veni Vidi Vici can hold it down like they were to start with.
Right, and especially early on, right, an AWM is going to be super impactful, especially if they can catch Swarm Enemy moving in just outside of the compound, or maybe find a little bit of a snipe onto him. 1 headshot will equal 1 knock this early on. So Swarm Enemy do have to stick together. They do have to be very careful when engaging this compound onto Veni Vidi Vici, who have looked very strong coming off of game number 2.
But this is a confident push, and confidence pays off in PUBG most of the time if it's well executed confidence. So it's interesting to see Swarm, who did announce their comeback in the chat the other day. So that was also a confident comeback, announcing it. We will be back. We are Swarm. We will be back. So welcome back, Swarm. And we'll see if you can pass off this confident push on Veni Vidi Vici. It's a very interesting, tense situation right now in Camp Charlie, and there's grenades flying out from Veni Vidi Vici right over the head of Storm, who, if plays this correctly, could get a sneak attack on SAR, but this is FPP, not TPP, and it is definitely harder to creep up behind cover and see what's happening on the other side of it.
Yeah, and I think Cesar messed about 2 versus 1 situation, as we mentioned. It doesn't want to be too early on. Swarm Enemy losing a member. They did get lucky enough to revive their knocked member at the beginning of this skirmish, so it still will be a 4-on-4 situation. It will be 4 members of Swarm Enemy locked in together versus a 2-1-1 split here. Loki and Buddha potentially going to look for those flank round behind Swarm Enemy, so it will be interesting to keep an eye on how these teams perform. But on the other side of the map, it will be Team Clown getting caught out of rotation outside of boot camp against this out of AMZ Lions, who will take control of the central compound of the map there. It's going to be north of this play zone, though, in this final game of the night. Fights break out, though. It is Storm going to be knocked on the other side of this fight, and it will be a revive going to come their way. But we do have to be wary of potential grenades. We saw Cesar throw 2 out earlier, but just looking instead for that angle on the gun. And Buddha on the flank side could be very aggressive and try to find a couple more knocks.
Buddha is a good standout player for Veni Vidi Vici for me, and that's a really good flank there. Getting 1 knock, but Bebad is not going to want to let Buddha get away with this. Actually gets some good knock, good bullets in, and Buddha's running away. But Bad's going to have to get around this corner and get some extra bullets in, because Buddha is easily finished off. But we also have Zar and Meta pushing in the actual building. The rest of Swarmer is in. Are they going to push directly? No. Ooh, they get some knocks on Stone, but they step back. Now Meta's going to step in. Buddha has healed, so it's a 1v1 out here. And yeah, Buddha will come out on top after getting far enough away to heal, and will actually finish Babad off. So that leaves the rest of them in a very tricky swap. Buddha will be running back to try and help. Czar almost taken down there. Mick could do with being a little bit more aggressive because the clock is ticking as Buddha gets closer and closer. It's going to get better and better for Veni Vidi Vici. And Swarm holding back and healing. Mick not taking that chance to finish them off. And it is a full health, almost 4 squad v low health, 3/4 health, and 4/5 health. And that is Mick down to. The health is not in their favour at all. Veni Vidi Vici easily going to come out on top of this with only 2 left now.
In Swarm, here we are, 2 versus 4 situation. Make that 3, make that 1 versus 3 as Jay finds 1. Can he find a second? Dips back in. Now it will be Cesar and Loki both not, but Meta's making their way upstairs. Potentially going to find that final kill onto Jay. Buddha on the outside, trying to find the angle. The grenade goes super high, comes back down, but won't find anyone just yet. Jay dodges that one out. Meta is outside as well, looking on the 2nd floor right now. But Jay is all the way on the roof. Has to try revive Storm as well. I'm surprised they haven't revived Storm yet. They should be recognizing it. The play has gone a bit more defensive. Unfortunately, they didn't do so. And it will be a 1 versus 3 situation as Cesar has been revived. Loki also being revived. And I almost feel like Jay has lost his opportunity, right? He had a really good opportunity to revive, get it back a 2 versus 4 situation, or even potentially first down to final 2 members. If he just healed up a bit more sooner, I think Jay has been a little bit more passive in this fight, and as a result, is being punished for it.
Yeah, there we have it. Oh no, Jay gets Buddha. Wow, last stand. Meta comes out and finishes it off. And there we have it, a long fight in Camp Charlie between Swarm and Veni Vidi Vici. Swarm making the push in there, of course. And now we're going to jump over to this west side where there is an awful lot going on. We've got both Z Paradox teams. We've got OCB here. Unlucky Girls. Paradox Crash and Co. Paradox Willow and Co. Oh, this is interesting. This is also all outside of zone as the zone pops in again. We have 1 minute 20 of this congestion before they all have to move, so it's going to be interesting to see who stays and tries to get the kills, who makes that early move. Oh wow, I've just found a new way of doing the camera. Oof, that's actually...
Well, look at that. Look at that beautiful shot right there.
I'll just explain what's happening. Sorry. If I take the mouse, I can move the joystick, and when I use the keyboard to move the camera, I've got 1 speed. But when I take the mouse to move the camera, I've got different speeds, right?
There we go.
I had a problem.
Look at that.
I had a problem where I couldn't do panning, but I can with the keyboard. It's just extremely erratic and strong. Whoa, it's maybe too strong. At least I know I can.
A bit of a ride there.
At least I know I can move the camera while I'm using the mouse to move the camera. I can move the camera's angle too. Anyway.
Yeah. Anyways, cameras aside, though, I am actually surprised that Unlucky Girls were defensive enough to actually allow all of those revives onto their PX Elite. So go back to 4 members. Also keep in mind to get another knock onto Unlucky Girls and a kill as well. So Diva is the only one really alive to do anything in this game now. It will be OCB Slim on the mountainside. You have repositioned 3 members there to potentially finish off ZPX, despite them getting these revives on the western side, gatekeeping them out of this zone as well. Unless they decide to go a bit more north, where we could face off against Dream Team, but considering that Dream Team have performed so well, might not be the wisest of decisions.
Yeah, so Diva will be left to try and make it out the zone, probably from within the zone, but it's zone free, and if Diva's got a few meds, should be okay. 3 med kits, 3 bandages, 3 drinks, should probably make it to zone. With 353 meters to go, shouldn't be too hard. And just giving it a little bit of time to let this congestion of teams get ahead of her and maybe even take them each other out a little bit. Dream Team, no kills so far, but I remember last time we jumped over to them with no kills in 16 teams live or something, and again, no kills, 16 teams live, and they might end up with another chicken. I do know Dream Team somewhat favour Sandhawk, at least in their results, maybe not in their own passions, but in their results they do pretty good on Sandhawk, and they seem to know the map pretty well, or at least get good results in it. So we'll see how they make this rotation down
right now. 7 atoms are going to be invaded by Invasion Esports. They will lose one member, and it will just be Dan Owen. But keep in mind, it is going to be also Grassroots there, going to be a team ahead of them. As well, Invasion potentially could knock up another 4 kills here in total if they can be smart about this. They have found the second member of 7 Atoms, and Grassroots really in trouble right now. Skelly and Stander will be the 4 versus 3 situation in the north side.
Yeah, and it looks like OCB have tried to pin Dream Team out, and they have managed to get Mechanic and Tikiri. So as Ant-Man Z Paradox team push in amongst this, they actually might be able to clean up some kills, but DT completely wiped there by OCB actually. So Zen actually getting the final kill with the flank and then moving forward. Interesting.
And also, yeah, keep in mind, Diva, for the side of Unlucky Us, also makes it inside the zone with that fight going off on the other end of that western side. So they will keep themselves in the game. As well, that zone does shift down into a little bit more closer to that river, but still keep in mind it's on both sides, so it could go either way. And you see, as you decided Sparta, they move off the eastern side of the zone down to the western side, knowing that obviously more percentage of the zone is going to be in that area, so more likely as a result for it to shift over there. Potentially could see, though, the other likes of Game Over hold off on the eastern side with all the action coming from these western teams.
Invasion have been doing pretty good for themselves. They had 3 kills when we tuned in over here. They've just got 4. They might end up on 6 by the time 10 more seconds is over. Some shots coming down from ANZ Lions, though. Look at that. Dreamer spraying into the smoke and getting another knock. Easy claps. Really, really good blind kills there. And it was actually a smoke grenade from 170312. 1703-1 Zanagi, sorry. 1703-1 Zanagi. Zanagi. Oh, it could be Japanese.
That could be.
Ichiman Sen Sanju Ichi Zanagi. That would be if you said the number then the name. Just another bit of a Japanese lesson there. That is how you say 17,031.
Well, I'd say I'm going to be fluent in Japanese somewhere or another through all these games, Bigfoot, with you here. But it will be AMZ making the way also inside of the zone, and they're going to be looking for a fluid kill here in pretty much in a clean fashion. We do have an eyes on the compound to the north side. It will be uncontested as well, and the other side they will have an angle onto ZPX Elites moving in out of their compound into the hands of Sparta. Sparta have looked strong. They've been in the game, but now it's time to fight, and it will be whoever wins this fight controlling a really core part of the northern side of this zone.
AMZ Rebel knocking down 2 lots of the ZPX team, then 2 members. Willow healing up inside the smoke. I think we're going to give Bot of the Night award to Willow for getting knocked so much in the first 2 games. And we'll just hopefully catch a funny moment to really justify that award. Welcome back to the UK scene, Willow. Yeah, there you go. Zigzag, go down. Oh, yeah.
Blame the American pig on that one, I think. But Invasion Esports, they have also joined the fight, and it will be on to 2 members of ZPX Elites. They have suffered losses, and unfortunately, I think this could be the end for them. Unfortunately, just caught out by teams of a late rotation. The zone also moving away means he might have some respite with both Sparta and AMZ, choosing then soon to move down if they can survive long enough. But then comes the contested on them beside the blue zone, right, as well. So Nash will be the final member. Unfortunately, he does get knocked down. I will be said Pixel, albeit they did try their best, but will fall down in 10th position. The zone, as we mentioned, 0 teams in it currently. They're individually looking to potentially control that zone. And I'll tell you what, looking at the zone right now, Bigfoot, down to the south end, looking at that hillside around the compound to also the eastern side. That could be really strong for both the side of Penn Institute, crossing our river into it, but also the side of Benevici. It will be perhaps one of these 2 teams. It could take that chicken dinner with that position.
Yeah, Benevici are in a really powerful position. They could really take this. Institute coming up, though, from the side, man. Institute might be trying to grasp back these placement points as they lost a lot of points in the leaderboard in the first 2 games. Gunners getting taken out on their way into zone 2 by AMZ. It's very, very messy. There's shots everywhere. The teams are dropping pretty fast. We're down to 8 right now. Menace maybe going down, taking it to 7. That zone chipping away at Menace's health. Applying a first aid kit, but a little bit too late, Menace. You will be going down, and that is Penetrate. Gunners taken out. Mostly by the hands of AMZ, a little bit by the play zone, but AMZ also losing a lot to the play zone, and sprays also from Sparta. So Sparta doing some crazy damage out there, and now we have Grassroots trying to make it in. We've lost 2 teams, and that was just losing AMZ and losing Gunners there, and Grassroots going to have some trouble too, especially there we have Trippy taken down. And Benny Viddy Vissy holding that high ground, knocking into OCB, but OCB actually hitting back really hard. But at the last one standing, going to maybe push up on Savita, but of course without much health, is going to go down. Maybe wanted to put a medkit in before pushing over that crest of that hill.
Yeah, unfortunately they get caught by the blue zone there as well. Grassroots are slow on the rotation as well. They will be caught down by side of Sparta, but as you mentioned, and we mentioned earlier on just moments ago, Institute with their position across the river, they have been allowed to get back into this game with their strong positioning on the hillside, as well as the compound they now control. It will be Sparta all on themselves. 2-2 split here behind the rocks, looking to try revive themselves, get back into the action. Chazix will need to be revived. A grenade will go wide from the side of Institute, but it's not going to land on any of them.
Yeah, there was a really bold jump across that open space to get the rev onto Medusa from Majro, as the whole of Institute was bearing down on this area. And it looks like there's a lot of distractions going on. Hippie Boy distracting Institute. So maybe Sparta can get these revs off and get a little bit further forward than 4th place. It would be nice to see. They are my supported team for the season. I'm sorry, Penetrate. Sorry.
And I'm glad they decided to Penetrate Institute, right? They move in as a full-man squad against the side of Sparta, against the side of Grassroots, not choosing to try 1 versus 2 on AMZ, Sparta, or try 1 versus 2 on the side of OCB Slim. And also keep in mind, OCB Slim, that zone, they can get a little bit way down to the hillside. They could still have a strong high ground advantage, despite the fact there are only 2 members, but being cut off here by the side of Chazix and Medusa and Majro, they will be eliminated, and we are down just to our final 2 teams.
Institute 7 kills, rushing over the hill right now, trying to finish this as soon as possible before there's any chance for healing and reviving. They're pushing very far in on this rock. Chax is a lot of damage. Majro goes down. They're jumping in aggressive. This is the Institute we are used to, coming in and finishing off Sparta so efficiently. Insane stuff there to finish off. Institute pulling back what they lost in the first 2 games there. Going to end up with quite a nice amount of points there with that. Be 10 kills in Chicken Dinner, I think. Yeah, 9 kills in Chicken Dinner. Ooh, I thought it was 10. Okay. Highland Wolf, where are you? Is that me or is that him? What happened? Don't know. Anyway. Got the screenshots. I'll run through the scores. So yeah, 9 kills for Institute in 1st place. Sorry, not AMZ. Sparta in 2nd place with 10 kills. Really good for Sparta tonight. OCB Slims with a total of 8 in 3rd place. Grassroots, 1 kill in 4th. Incognito, 2 kills 5th place. Veni Vidi Vici, 9 kills 6th place. AMZ Lions, 8 kills 7th place. Penetrate Gunners, 1 kill 8th. Invasion Esports with 6 kills in 9th place. Z Paradox, 2 kills 10th place. Z Paradox Ant-Man's team, 5 kills in 11th place. Penetrate Game Over, 0 kills 12th, so they are going to be dropping down the rankings a little bit, unfortunately. Unlucky Kills, 0 kills 13th place. Grassroots, 2 kills 14th. Dream Team, 0 kills 15th after a Chicken Dinner with a nice amount of kills. That's a bit awkward for them. 7 Atoms, 0 kills, 16th place. Swarm, 0 kills, 17th. Team Clown, 3 kills, 18th. And Only the Best, 1 kill and 19th place.
Yeah, unfortunately for them going down in last place have had a bit of a hard time. But I also think it was super well done on the other spectrum for the side of Institute, right? Institute had a great rotation into the final zones, and they also used the fact that the teams were fighting in the north end.
You're cutting off, mate. You're right there.
Take against the rest of these teams. Oh, am I okay?
Yeah, he just cutting off a little bit.
How's that?
That's better.
There you go. But yeah, as I mentioned, unfortunately, you know, it is just down to positioning at the end of the game. And the side of Penn Street, they played it well and got the chicken dinner off the back of it. But a strong performance, nevertheless, right from the side of Sparta. Sparta have had some standout games. First place in the first game, and obviously just almost picking out chicken dinner with second place in the final match here.
Good game, everyone. My grandma literally just died. I'm gonna get off and ring my family. I don't worry. I knew it was coming in the next day or two.
Oh no!
But I just need to ring someone. So yeah, bless you, everyone. Everyone, wish the best for my grandma. Yeah, it's okay. I've been waiting for it for a week or so, but it's just happened right now. I need to ring everyone. Okay, so bless you all, and see you next Sunday. Thank you for tuning in.